Hello everyone, this is Justin Haney, and this is my internal and external communication chart for Hayes Middle School. The program I chose to create this is Canva. I've used it in other building leadership classes. It's very user-friendly and visually appealing, where I felt like the other programs that were offered are not, so I went with Canva. We're talking about our different types of publics. The two that were chosen are internal versus external. Internal is going to be inside our own building and district. The people involved are going to be teachers, counselors, administration, support staff, district personnel, coaches, building improvement teams, office secretaries. Most of this communication is going to be two ways. So you're giving and receiving information. We'll talk about the forms of communication here in a second. Our external publics is going to be any non-USD 49 employees. So including students, parents, extended families, community members, media, community groups, political figures, and taxpayers. Your direct people for your external are going to be your students and parents and community members that have a stake in the community. These communications are going to be two-way, back and forth, where people are giving input, receiving input, and giving it back. There's also going to be one-way communications to extended family, media, and community groups. Those are going to be more of like event reminders and different things to let the community know what's going on in the schools. Next, we're going to talk about what forms of communication are being used. I have them listed in order that are most popular here in Hayes. Number one for our internal communication is going to be in email. So just written digitally back and forth. Number two is going to be meetings orally and digitally. Number three is going to be screencasts. That's going to be digital. Number four is handbooks. It's going to be written. School board minutes, those are sent out digitally. And then phone and text going to be oral and written. Forms of communication for external. Number one in town is going to be social media. Obviously, that's digital. Number two is going to be radio, oral. Number three is going to be email, digital and written. Number four is going to be in-person events, orally. Number five is going to be apps. That's going to be a digital form. Number six is over the phone, orally. Number seven is a messaging system that's sent out digitally. And then number eight is going to be news, and that's going to be digital also. Our numbers are going to correlate to each communication form above. So internally exchanged email, number one, is day-to-day operations, IEP info, tech tips, HMS happenings, etc. Number two, our meetings are going to be weekly team meetings, grade level meetings, building meetings, and professional learning. Number three, our screencast is a Sunday screencast sent out by our principal to cover high points of the week and shout outs. Number four, our handbook covers policy. Number five, the school board minutes is sent out by the district office to relay school board discussion and notes. Number six, the phone and text is going to be between teachers needing quick answers between one another. For our external communications, social media is going to be public relation events, cancelizations, and our bond highlights that we're trying to get past currently in Hayes. Number two, radio is going to be events and cancelizations. Number three, our emails are going to be HMS happenings, student updates from teachers, the good and the bad. Number four is going to be in-person events of IEP, conferences, sporting events, performances, and board meetings. Number five, the apps being used are Remind apps, classroom apps, and different sports teams are mostly going to use the Remind apps. They have parents and students sign up on on those so no information is ever lost or misunderstood. Number 6, phone calls home. Uh, those are usually not good phone calls home. We do make some good ones, but usually a phone call home is because the emails are not getting through or are not solving the issue. Number 7, messaging system. We send out our weekly COVID level, and schools cancelizations are sent out on that messaging system. And then news goes over public relation and school cancelizations. Some internal strengths I feel like we have at Hayes Middle School are our department teams. Those include grade level teams, building leadership teams, curriculum development teams. I feel like our teachers have a very, very strong relationship in those teams. We're able to get a lot done. We're all kind of on the same page, and a lot of that is just created through those strong relationships and having transparency with one another. A weakness within our building, I would say, is communication between teachers and counselors. Often there are schedule changes, students are pulled, situations that are the students from having affected their learning. I don't feel like are being translated to teachers very well. Some of the strengths from external public, I feel like our social media strength, just getting news and information out as we're trying to pass a bond issue is something that we've struggled with in the past, but we're getting a lot better at it. As we look through communications, we want to talk about two-way communications. For internal and external public's communications to be successful, it is vital to know if the information exchange needs to be one way, two ways, or both. Internal communication in the school is highly dependent on two-way communication. Staff needs to make decisions, and communication is key. External publics is more of a split. Some just need provided the information without feedback, while other parties and situations call for vast two-way communication. How can we at HMS increase our ability to communicate effectively? I think that just goes back down to being transparent and building trust. All that is created through relationships. If we're building relationships with all the parties and stakeholders involved, only good things can come from that. Here are some references and a quote to end. All kids need is a little help, a little hope, and someone who believes in them. That was from Magic Johnson. Hope everyone has a good day, and take care.